Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing on my last video. I'm consistent, that's just who I am. Anyway, this is going to be my wrap up for the Merlin Readathon that I took part in these past 2 weeks. I had so much fun taking part in this readathon, and as well I am rewatching Merlin at the minute with some friends, and it's just made it even more fun, and also doing all the reading sprints and everything during the week. So thanks to all the hosts that were doing all of those. I had a good time. So anyway, I managed to complete in the 4 weeks all 4 books that I picked out, which is shocking. Absolutely shocking, because I said to myself, I'll get at least 3 read, I have a feeling. But then I ended up finishing my 4th one just this morning. So yeah, go me. We are a full-fledged magic user now. Sorcerer? I'm like a full-fledged sorcerer now? I feel great. I feel awesome. So anyway, these are the 4 books that I read. Let's talk about them. The first one that I read and completed was Life of Riley by Simon James Green. This is Simon's middle grade book, and this is for the prompt to read something with green on the cover. So it has green on the cover, as you can see. Obviously, yes, this is a middle grade. This is a middle grade about a young boy called Riley who whose mother takes him to a fairground one day in order to cheer him up, but then he goes into this tent and meets a fortune teller, or a psychic if you will, and she basically curses him. And ever since that day he ends up getting himself into all these really silly and outrageous situations, and he thinks that he's bad luck and that he's cursed. Then he meets this other boy called Brad, this new kid in his class, and he becomes friends with him, and Brad kind of turns into like his good luck charm. So it's just, yeah, and you know, it was so much fun, just antics and comedy and sweet heartfelt moments, and yeah, just unbelievable wacky situations, like just classic British slack comedy. Like, it was like an episode of Mr. Bean. It honestly felt like I was watching an episode of Mr. Bean, except Mr. Bean was a 10-year-old. Like, it's just, I love this. I love all of Simon's books. I meant to do a review on this. I forgot to, because work, the adult life, just got in the way. But if you want me to, let me know and I'll give you more thoughts on it. But all you know is that I loved it, and naturally I give it 5 stars. And I listened to this on audio, by the way. I listened to it on audio. It was really, really short, so yes. Now, the next book that I read and completed, I actually started this first before I started Riley, but then I started to panic and thinking, oh here, what if I don't get any of the other books read because I'm spending so much time on this one, because this one is the biggest book on my TBR. So I was just like, you know what, let me get Riley on audio, and then that'll, you know, get that one read at least. But that book, again, biggest book on my TBR, Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the 3rd book in the From Blood and Ash series, and a lot of other people that I follow on BookTube and stuff that have read this have said that this one is not their favourite, and I do understand why. There is quite a little chunk in the middle that was a little bit boring, kind of lagged a little bit. The first few chapters were great, and then there was a little bit of a lag in the middle, and I did get a little bit bored. I was just like, are we gonna, like, we're kind of in a little bit of a loop here. Can we pick it up? But then the latter half of the book was so great. So great. And the cliffhanger at the end of this, don't get me started. I need the 4th one, I believe, is going to be dropping March next year, and I don't know if I can wait that long. But yeah, I'm really, really loving this series thus far. This is not my favorite in the series. That definitely goes to Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which, as you guys know, I gave 5 stars. I loved it so much. But I still really, really enjoyed this, and I gave this one 4 stars. This was for the prompt to read a book with a map in it. And let me just show you, where is the map? There's the map right there. So yes, book read with a map in it. It was this one right here. And the next book that I read was another little short one. And it's A Very Large Expansive Sea by Tahira Mafi. I read this for the prompt to read a book that packs an emotional punch. And this is a contemporary story about a young Muslim girl living in America in the aftermath of 9/11. So it's 2002, so it's been a year since 9/11. And you know, she's just a young Muslim girl living her life. Her and her parents and her family have moved around a lot, and she ends up in this town. And you know, obviously, like, she faces so much Islamophobia in this book, it's disgusting. So major trigger warning for that. And Tahira Mafi actually wrote a little author's note in the beginning, and it said, "What you're about to read is inspired by the true events of my life. Ultimately, this is a work of fiction, but Sharon's story is an amalgamation of real experiences." So like reading that, knowing that and having that in my mind while I was reading this just made it all the more impactful. And oh, this packed an emotional punch. This punched me emotionally in all of the ways. Like, I loved it so much. I love Tahira Mafi's writing, and I'm so sad at myself that I left it for so long. Like, I seriously meant to read this sooner, but anyway. And in this book, she meets this boy called Ocean. He is a white boy. And he basically tries to strike up a friendship with her, but she's just like, "No, you don't want to get in it with me. You don't understand. Like, you don't," like, she has all these walls built up, and she's just like, "I just want to get through school, okay? And then get into college, and then get the F out of here and go to university and just live my life and not have to worry about anybody in this sad ass town anymore." And I was really rooting for her from that. And as well, breakdancing is a huge part of this book as well, because her brother and a few of his friends start this breakdancing group, and you know, obviously she gets involved with it because that's something her and her brother love to do together. And I love that. I love the relationship with her and her brother. I just adored her as a character, and just like hearing all of these things that she goes through, like, all the time, all these stupid ass people treating her like just like all these dumbass people that would be like asking her the most stupid and inappropriate questions, making the worst comments. Even a teacher at one point, like, really just comes for her for absolutely no reason. And it made me so angry. It made me so angry. It made me sad. It made me want to reach through the book and throttle this man, because it was just like, do you not see what you're doing? Do you not see what you're doing? Do you not see how you're making her uncomfortable, you Islamophobic piece of shit? Like, I just... Anyway, I love this. I love Tahira Mafi. I will definitely, I'm definitely going to be reading a lot more of her, obviously, going forward. Obviously, I love the Shatter Me series. You guys know this. It's one of my favorite series ever. And I read her middle grade book, but obviously I will definitely be reading more of her, like, more like young adult contemporaries in the future, especially if they're going to be like this. 5 stars. This was amazing. I wasn't expecting to give that 5 stars. I definitely figured maybe a 4, but it just got me. It got me. 5 stars. Anyway, and the last book. Oh, I said what this prompt was for, didn't I? Packs an emotional punch? Yeah, I think I did. Anyway, the very last book that I completed for this readathon was This Poison Heart by Kaylin Barron. I listened to this on audiobook as well. I finished it just this morning. Go me. If you follow me on Twitter, I was very happy with myself this morning. I was doing a little happy dance this morning when I finished it. This was for the prompt to read a 5-star prediction. Now, if you guys know, I read Cinderella is Dead. Do you see her right there? I read that last year. Loved it. Gave it 5 stars. I wanted to give it all the stars in the world. I love that book. And I was so sure that I was going to give this 5 stars. I ended up giving it 4. Now, 4 stars isn't bad, okay? Just because I thought I was going to give it 5 and I ended up giving it 4, it doesn't mean I didn't like it. Hear me out. Now, the reason why I only give it 4 is really just because it wasn't that it lagged, it's just there wasn't that much going on. Because it's about this girl called Briseis, and she lives with her 2 moms. She's adopted, and one day this woman comes to her house and basically says to her and her moms that her birth mother, who had passed away, had this big house with her sister, and now the sister has passed away, and the sister has left Briseis her house out in out in this little small town called Renbeck outside of New York. And yeah, so they're a little bit taken aback. They're all like, what? Like, what? And I was just like, she was alive this whole time, you know, and if she only passed away this year, why didn't she bother getting in touch with Briseis sooner? But anyway, whatever. So anyway, they go out to this house and it's all really weird, and this woman's all like, oh, it's all paid for and you've got all this land and it's all yours, you can do what you like. And they're like, okay. Like, one of the mums was skeptical from the start, and I was totally on her side. I was like, listen to your mum, she knows what she's talking about. But anyway, and I did enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought it would, mostly just because there was just a few things I felt was kind of left unexplained, a few things I didn't think need to be there. And there's a lot of talk of plants, and like, I like looking at flowers and everything, but I'm not that interested in plants because our girl, Briseis, has this gift where she like attracts plants. Like, if she walks into a room and there's maybe like a pot of flowers sitting on a windowsill or something, the flowers would like perk up and grow a little bit taller, be a little bit brighter, like stuff like that. And anyway, she finds sort of like the secret garden. It's kind of loosely based on the secret garden, I think. I think that was what Kaylin Barron was going for with this. But anyway, I did enjoy it, just not as much as I thought it would. I mean, the last few chapters, I was like, what? Why weren't we getting all of this a lot sooner? Like, yeah, there was just a little chunk of this that, I don't know, not that it was not needed, but like not much was going on. A lot of things were left unexplained. And, yeah, I believe there's going to be a sequel. Hopefully there's going to be a sequel. I mean, hello, there was a cliffhanger at the end, so I'm really hoping that if the sequel comes out, I'll hopefully maybe enjoy that a little bit more than I did this one. But I still really, really love this. I still really, really love this. I love Kaylin Barron's writing. I love her characters. Like, Briseis was a wonderful main character. I loved her mums. I loved the connection that they had with each other. I love the fact that her moms were so supportive in her wanting to know more about her birth mother and, you know, her, you know, blood relatives and everything like that. Like, they didn't stop her from doing that. They were like, whatever makes you happy, just let us know. Like, if you've had too much and you want to leave, we're here for you. Like, we love supportive parents in this household. Yeah, there wasn't really much of a romance in this. I thought there was going to be a little bit more of that. There was, she does make this connection with this girl, and our girl is bisexual. It's not like prominently in there, but it is mentioned that she's dated both boys and girls, so our girl is bisexual. But yeah, not really much of that, but yeah, I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy the Greek mythology tie into it. Like, I love Greek mythology, like, but anyway, I love the Greek mythology tie into it as well. It's a really good book. It wasn't a 5-star, it's a 4, but 4's still good, you know. 4 is great. You know, 4 stars are great, but, you know, anyway, I'm going to put this down. So anyway, those are all my Merlin Readathon reads. I read 4 books in 2 weeks. I was not expecting this. I was like, I'll read at least these 3. And if I don't finish this, then it's whatever. But I read all 4. I read all 4. Like, leave the clapping hands emoji in the comments to congratulate me. So yeah, I had fun doing this readathon. I will definitely, if anything like this ever goes down again, I will gladly take part in it because it was a wonderful challenge. Anyway, thank you to all of the hosts that put this together. You guys are wonderful. I love doing all the reading sprints with you. You guys are so much fun. And yes, I've subscribed to them all, and I'll, yeah, I will definitely be tagging them on Twitter once I post this on Twitter. So yeah, hope you're having a good day. I'm going to be going away for the next week, so you'll not see me for a while. I'm going to relax a little bit, go out of Belfast for a couple days, because Lord knows I need it. Anyway, my Twitter, Instagram, down below as always. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell, leave a comment. How are you doing? Are you doing well? Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my wrap up at the end of this month. So, bye!